Welcome, everyone. This is Glenda Dawson, and you're watching Glenda's Dragon's Den. Welcome every week to those that follow us. Please continue following us. Keep sharing this. Keep recommend it to other people. Subscribed. You know, we are all over the place, and we're trying to get different perspectives in everything to everyone, so everyone has a chance to see what resonates with them and what doesn't. Today, I have a great guest who's been a friend of mine for a while. She was here in the Poconos for a while, but then she decided to move. Ooh. But she looks fantastic and doing great. Emilie Munoz, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I feel like I'm home. I was like, oh, this is going to be a great interview because I already know our chemistry together in
Yeah,
person. I'm like, oh, this is great. I have a fun time.
exactly. So, tell our audience about you. Uh, they always have to hear that.
About me, right? There's
Of
always a
course.
thing when people start explaining who they are. Oh, my name is Emilie Muñiz. I am a diviner. I am a psychic and a creator of divination decks. I've created Simplicity Tarot, published by US Games, and now soon to be published is Simplicity Lenormand, which is on Kickstarter right now. Um, so I like creating divination decks to make it easy and accessible for people. I felt that there was kind of a hiccup in the learning process, so I was like, I want to create tarot deck and now a fortune telling deck that makes it easy for someone just to pick it up and start divining right away. So that's my thing. I'm also a teacher of tarot and divination, and that's who I am. I've been reading for over 20 something years. I started at 11 and I will be beautifully 40 this month. So
Yes. Happy birthday. Happy
thank
birthday.
you, Big 4-0. So that's a little bit about me, and I am from New York. This is a beautiful Brooklyn accent. Very proud of it. And yeah, that's about me. That's about it.
That's,
Yeah,
oh, I know that there's more about you. So, what got you into tarot?
that's interesting. So my mom always used to have espiritistas over, right? That was just my thing growing up in Bushwick, in Brooklyn, and she always had coffee cup readers and people coming to her kitchen with some coffee and by the window divining for her. It was just a thing. It was something that we was into. So having espiritistas over and spiritual misas and stuff was kind of a norm for us.
Right.
Um, I guess that's called spiritual gatherings. How do you? I don't even know what's the English word for it.
Uh, Spiritual gathering, I guess.
Spiritual gatherings, spiritual readings.
Right,
A
right.
spiritualist over. So one day I was young. I remember this clear as day because it was so powerful. Um, she was getting her coffee cup read, and we do it in the Puerto Rican style. Um, this is probably they hardly do this style. We take the coffee, you drink a little bit, and then you leave some coffee in the bottom with the sugar, and then you turn it over a burning stove, and then you
Hmm.
pick up the coffee, and then we read the images. So that's my first form of divination. We pulled cards. It was a coffee cup,
Right.
and she goes, "Nena, come here, come here. They're telling me los muertos, the dead, everyone." They telling me that you need to tell me what you see here, and I was what? She was like, just tell me what you see, and I
Right.
started reading the cup and telling her the different images and things like that, and explaining it
Hmm.
to her. And from then, I felt like I had some magical gifts,
Hmm.
before Harry Potter existed, and I was hooked. I was like, wow, I have a gift. I have a gift. And she kept coming over,
Hmm.
and I started reading her cup.
Okay.
And then of course my mom's, because why would she need to pay anybody?
Hmm.
So that's what got me into divination. And then soon right after, I started exploring tarot. So that's it. I finished college. I
Yeah.
finished college. I got my BA in business, and they were like, "Well, you can only be successful at something, or really, really be successful when it's your passion." And they were like, "So what you going to do with your degree?" I was like, "I'm going to be a tarot reader." They laughed at me. They laughed, but I knew that if I had
Mhm.
the corazon, the heart for it, the
Mhm.
passion, that I will thrive. And here I am. I've been full time uh,
Mhm.
diviner, full time. I, I think 18 years. It'll be 18 years full
Okay.
time.
Okay.
This is it for me. This is all I do. So it's kind of a passion projects and obsession at this point. So yeah, that's my whole life. Basically,
Well,
that's what my kids know.
well, as far as the coffee cup reading with the upside down on the stove and all that, it's the
That's,
same way I learned how to do it.
yes, you did
Yeah.
too.
Yep. Yep.
That's
Uh,
so rare for some that I meet
I'm
someone.
Cuban.
You're Cuban. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like people look at me like this, she's lying. We don't do that. And I'm like, but that's the way I do. They're like, and how
Right.
do they call the
Tea
cup? What
is different.
do I was
Tea
like,
is different. But
we
when
clean it.
right.
We didn't reuse that cup.
Right.
That's what we do. But it's such an old school way, especially with the stoves now
Yeah.
electric.
Yeah.
So when I see like a burning stove, I'm like, ooh, I need to test this out. I need to do it. And we had the sock first, so the coffee grains could go down into
Yeah.
the cup with the sugar, and that's the way I read. And it's such a powerful. I think I love tarot. I really could connect with
Hmm.
tarot, but it's like the root of it all. So they're
Right.
really. It's like such a. It's like a whole adventure of just the making of the coffee and
Hmm.
channeling your energy and knowing
Right.
the divine with it and
And having the person hold the
hold
cup,
the cup and
cup,
drink it and just
yeah,
leave a little bit of sugar and them
exactly.
stirring, and you got
Uh,
to say three wishes, three things that you want. It's such an
right.
experience. Yeah.
And stir it in a certain way too, not certain
Yes.
direction,
Good.
not
Like to you. Everything you want to you. I love
exactly.
reading like that. It's my favorite. So who wouldn't want to keep divining after like this little girl's doing things like that? That's my thing. Yeah.
Right, right. Of course. I mean, it's like you had your own superpower before you even knew you had the superpower.
This is so cool. I love this. And it was the Walter Mercado days. So
Yeah.
it was a whole. That was the era.
Oh my God, I remember
Yeah,
that. I
that was
remember
the
that.
era.
It is so funny because, well, Walter Mercado just passed away.
Yes, a
Yes,
few
yes,
ago.
yes, yes. I was like going to say, wait a second. I could swear I just remember here.
I saw the documentary. I was in tears. I was just in
Oh, I
tears.
know, I know. He was beyond his years.
Yeah, and
He was a pioneer to get this stuff on TV
yes,
and do readings right there and advise people. And it's like, wow.
he was my hero because I'm Puerto Rican, right? And he's
Right,
Puerto
right.
Rican. So it was like my idol. I was like, I need to be. This guy he walks into the room and forget, but like, shut up, shut up. Things got a little violent at that time because whatever he was saying, we needed to hear, and we
Right,
needed to
right,
hear our son and his message. Like
right.
I'm like, damn, he got weight. Like
Uh,
this guy got power.
mhm, mhm. And I remember my mother, whenever it was on, and it was like, turn on the TV, turn it louder. We need to hear this. And I'm like, wow, I can't talk about my gifts, but we're watching the gifts with dad right there. Okay.
It was like true. It was just true. Like you'll find a way to make whatever you say true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, now we look at it, and some of the statements were so general that anything fit in there.
Anything at that point. Yeah.
Right, right. So now your family obviously was into all this, into metaphysical and all that other stuff.
Yeah, well, my mom, we grew up right across the street from a cathedral.
Okay.
Like literally, my window was here. I used to just see. So in Bushwick is a revy in Brooklyn. during that time it was very eccentric,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a melting pot of everything. On one
Mm-hmm.
corner you had Pentecostals, Catholic, the spiritualist thought, Botanic out there. So everything when I grew up, it was, yes, we were Christians, but my mom's house had a Nino Divino. Her
Mm-hmm.
whole house was painted baby pink and baby blue because that whole year we were gonna be a Nino Divino protected. Like it was so like over exaggerated. And the poster, like a whole wall, like a gigantic poster, and it's still like that. Like this is it, we do
Yeah.
things. So yes, you could be very Christian, but it was like Espiritismo, like just
Right.
everything mixed in. So
Right. Right.
that was my mom. She has Buddha and everything. We're just gonna mix it all. I need luck and prosperity and protection in all ways. That's how I grew up.
Yeah. Exactly. That's and people. She was very ahead of her time because a lot of people are still like even today. It's like only one way, and I'm like, how do
Yeah,
you know? I don't. I can't buy into that anymore. I believe all the different paths go to the same place,
yeah,
and not every path, not a single path that I have studied actually takes me completely.
yeah.
It's like, okay, this fits, this resonates a little, and that resonates, but that doesn't. And so it's a mesh.
And like sometimes I need the practical stuff, right, to keep
Right,
things in order.
right,
But I need the spiritual stuff to elevate me as a human being.
right,
So
exactly.
I, for me, I need both. It's my balance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I don't like too extreme of anything. For me, it's anything too extreme is toxic. So,
Right, right.
yeah.
So tell us now a little more about the tarot decks.
Well, simplicity, can you, I think it's too bright.
That's fine. Simplicity
Simplicity
Tarot. I put it
Lenormand,
up so they could go on the website there for you.
simplicitylenormand.com.
Yes.
It's actually a Kickstarter right now. So it's a Lenormand deck and it's a fortune telling deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I like doing elaborate stuff. I like bling stuff.
Uh-huh.
This is one of them.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
gold, it's red, and it's a fortune telling deck, and each card means something, right? So
Mm-hmm.
with Lenormand, you put two cards together to create one meaning, like to fortune tell. So
Right.
with tarot, it's very spiritual. You have like you have big spiritual concepts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But with Lenormand, it's very specific. Say like you have the snake, right?
Right.
The snake is, you think of a snake as someone deceitful or something of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have the ring. The ring means commitment. So you push them together,
Right.
so you mush them,
Mm-hmm.
and you see deceitful commitment. So now I know specifically what do I need to know? Deceitful commitment. Oh, wait a minute, who's my partner? What
Right.
do I need to know about my partner? And dig in. And I know fortune telling is not for everybody.
Right.
Lenormand is an old concept, but it kind of got watered down or kind of forgotten.
Right.
So I created like this big guidebook. Let me just wrote it right here. For some reason I created a real thick guidebook. It's over 200 pages on how to
Okay.
read it step by step. So,
Okay.
see, yeah,
There you
cool.
go.
It's all colorful. I wrote it myself. So that's what I'm doing right now. But in the past, I also created Simplicity Tarot. It's
Right.
published by US Games right now. You can't see it.
Yeah. There it is.
But Simplicity Tarot is basically the same thing, but with
Mm-hmm.
tarot. You pick up the deck, and with the guidebook, you will know how to read tarot instantly. Because I feel like it shouldn't be so complicated. You see those edges?
Mm-hmm. Look at that. That is
The edges
nice.
are going to be on the Lenormand deck. So that's my thing. I like to create divination that's simple for everyone. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because that was my experience, right? Um, that was my experience when I first picked up tarot. I remember that I picked up a card and I was like, what the F? In my brain, I thought it was gonna be like coffee cup readings. Oh, I see this.
Yeah.
Picked up a card and I just saw like three of wands and it was just three wands. I was like, what the I was so disappointed. I was like, oh my God. And then I picked up that little guidebook that was this small that I
Mm-hmm.
barely could read. And I was like, oh my God, I really have to learn this. It's gonna be hard. Um, so with that concept, and after reading for a lot of people and they said
Mm-hmm.
I really wish that I knew how to read, I want to
Right.
read, but it's hard. I said I'm going to create a deck that makes it easy for everybody, that you can literally just pick it up and be like, oh shit, I know how to read.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Then when I teach, I make all my students throw away that little book
Yeah,
because
just like random keywords, you're like, what do I do?
yeah, no, I want them to learn to read the card intuitively. Just like, which is the same thing you basically did with combining those cards like that. Because
Yes.
intuitively, you right away you picked up what it is.
Yes, you could pick it up. And I
Right.
wanted, I also felt with Simplicity Tarot, like the regular right away, some of those images were outdated. I
Mm-hmm.
want to introduce diversity. So you got people with different cultures, skin tones
Right.
to them. I felt that was missing. And I also felt like some of the cards don't have to be so scary. So I made them more attractive and appealing to the beginners so it
Right.
would welcome them to learn and want to keep continuing learning. So
Right.
and
Very
that's
good.
the same thing I did with the Lenormand because it's from 1700s. So I was like, I'm going to revamp this and make it modern and
Mm-hmm.
accessible to everyone. So it could be the same thing. And with Lenormand, I think it's cool because sometimes we don't want this big spiritual meanings. We just want yes, no, what's going on, give me the specifics.
Right.
And
I don't got the time. I don't have the
I
time.
don't have time. What's going on? What do I need to know? When is this going to happen? So it's excellent for timing. And in
Mm-hmm.
the guidebook, I really map out how to interpret each card for timing. Sometimes you just want to know when things are going to happen. It's
Right.
a taboo to some people, but not with this deck. You can definitely find out, even down to a person's hair color, their
Mm-hmm.
sign is very specific. And that's why I like it. I like to pair it, in fact, with tarot because of that.
Mm, very good. Very good. So now you have, I know in the past you have gone to New York and done special shows and stuff like that with that. So tell us about those. Those were probably very exciting.
Oh man, the most recent one was the Reader Studio
Right.
last month that I did, and that was great. We did Amy Zenner. She's fabulous. She's
Yeah,
a
she.
very famous tarot author.
Yes.
Um, Monty, her husband,
Oh,
very famous
please.
astrologer, and I did.
Mhm.
And she's also a clothing designer, so she had us model on the runway. It was so magical. The whole I felt like a star. Like we all felt like a star. We were all cheering. Everybody was cheering for us, and we did our twirls, and we got to really, model clothing, which was
Mhm.
amazing. All of them was, you know, tarot theme or astrology theme or something of that, nature.
Mhm.
She has like I think one of them is just of the Empress, and it's beautiful. Everything's beautiful, but I also taught a class on Lenormand and
Mhm.
tarot and how to read both together for more for your career path. So I like incorporating both because I feel that sometimes you read tarot and gives you some kind of the information. This is what you need to do for your life, and
Mhm.
specific. Sometimes you need like the meat, the skin, right?
Right, right.
And that's where Lenormand bridges that together. So I was teaching my students this as well. And it was great. It was like 3 days of just everyone taking classes and learning and meeting other people in the community. And it was at the Marriott Hotel. So it was a
Right.
3-day convention. Amazing. Amazing. It was magical, actually. And we did meditation classes. We hugged a few trees, rocks. And we had a lot of decks signed from my favorite tarot authors. spiritual authors, magical authors, you name it, we were all there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I read all your comments and I saw that stuff and I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta make her talk about that.
Yes. I got to meet like so many people. Some people I was starstruck. I was like, oh my God. Some people I just got the courage. They were like, hi, can you sign my deck? Hi, I'm Emily. And it was really good. It was a great networking experience as
Right.
well. And you come to see that everyone, we're all just a community and everyone is just a human being at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sharing stories, talking till late at night at the lounge. So yeah, that's the place to go. Every year they have it. They've been having that. I was talking to the creators since 2003.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
I follow them too, and I talk to them every once in a while. So I
Yeah.
love them. I love them. Every day, I look forward to his little tidbits. So, what do you see after this latest tarot cards? What do you see for yourself after that?
I'm torn because I already have a complete deck. Right.
Right.
I have a complete deck and is based on crystals and tarot.
Mm.
The concept of that one, and I wish I could show the images, but I can't just yet. But it's all completed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the same concept on how each tarot card synchronizes with a crystal and
Mm-hmm.
its meaning, and how to use it, and how to break down crystals with tarot, or you could just use crystals, you know.
Right.
So the images, I really think we're in this time right now, the age of Aquarius, where we embracing all these spiritual concepts right now. So it really is the time. I would love to write a book, but I'm still like, do I? Is this the time? I got to really meditate on that, you know. But I really do miss doing a tarot deck because it is one of my passions. It's my passions. It's my
Right.
passions. After teaching, I love teaching people. When I see someone really grasp the concepts and then apply it, and I see them teaching out there, I'm like, yes, you go, girl. You know, it makes me proud.
Right.
About
And
learning, it was like, wow, it was worth it. It was worth it.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And also I don't know, well, I'm sure you do too when you see that bright light go on and
Yeah, I knew
everything
they got
falls
it.
in place and they got it and you're like, oh, this feels so good because you're sending out a bird to fly.
Yes, you're like, okay, yes, good. And now you could teach other people. Go, go,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
with the universe.
yeah.
I totally it brings me a lot of happiness. And I think that's my balance. You know, I do readings all the time. I help
Right.
people with that. We get really personal. With my clients, I get really personal with them. You know, we will cry together. We will
Mm,
cry together and really get personal with my clients. But I also feel like teaching brings me another kind of happiness. And
mhm.
then creating decks that I know is going to travel the world brings me another layer of joy. It feels like to have it tangible, this little physical item, and that
Mhm.
even after I pass away, it'll be still floating around teaching people. It brings me a lot of happiness and joy, you know, especially. I remember growing up where I was shamed, right? I remember I had to take like the books. I'll be on the train, the 6 train, or I had to put a book on top of a book just to,
Right.
you know, on crystals, on witchcraft, on divination, and pretend it was something else. And I'll be like, oh, you know, reading. So I had to hide it.
Yeah.
Um, and people always like, what do you really do for a living? Right? But now it's more accepted. So I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, I knew it. I knew somehow it's going to become more mainstream and more accepted. And it brings me a lot of joy that things are changing in that
Mm.
aspect. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's cool. As long
Yeah.
as they don't mess it up. As
Yeah, let's cross our fingers on that one.
long as we know the tower is not a positive card, like those TikTokers. I'm like, I see them doing like these 2 second readings, which is insane. Like some of them are really good, but they're like, you see this tower card, your lover is coming to you. You just had a moment of he needed a moment of clarity. I'm like, how does a tower mean this? Did we need to stick to our basic concepts and then you could explore whatever on top
Right.
of that, right? But
Right.
there's a root of tarot. These cards mean something, and then you could do your mediumship, psychic, develop whatever you want after
Right.
this. But there's a basis of this and the foundation, and that's why I like to teach people, especially um, my students. There's no wrong answer, but there's a base of things too. There's a
There's a right.
foundation. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, you could add to that foundation, like when you add a house, when you build a house, but you got to have something to actually step on to go.
This is not oracle cards.
I know you can't read what says on the bottom and say, "Oh, that's what it is." Yes, it's they're and you're right. You know, the Rider Waite is very scary. Um, and but once you know the meaning, the basics, the foundation is not as bad. You
it's
know,
it's
no,
not. It's not. And I feel like some cards don't the old right away. That's why I felt like I needed to revamp this a little
right,
bit, make it modern, because some of the cards you look at it, I want to be able to show someone one of my cards and be like, what do you think it means? Just by the imagery and the
right,
pick it up a little bit. But that's not always the case.
right.
So that's the easy, that's how to really easily read and story tell. If you story tell, it gets you over that hiccup a little.
Yes, yes. So you were here in the Poconos for a while, and then you moved
Oh
back
man,
to New York. Now we know that Poconos have bears and snakes.
I loved it. I loved it. Honestly, I wanted to say thank you. Honestly,
Yeah.
I met you in a crazy ass time in my life. It felt my tower moment there, and it was we still. I remember we were still in the COVID era because we were
Yep.
wearing masks, sitting together in a circle,
Right. Right.
and you and your husband allow people to enter in, you
Hmm.
know. And I'm feeling like emotional right now. And I remember feeling like so alone during that period in my life. I was so alone. I was going through a lot. And here is Glenda's den and it's welcoming people. And I remember the mediumship class. It was very profound to me because it took me back on how people used to gather around
Hmm.
and do mediumship channeling. And one of the things that was more profound when you were teaching us, you questioned the spirits to get confirmation. I was like, that's it. That's how I learned. And I was like, I'm not alone. This is exactly where I need to be. And I
Hmm.
fit in and I'm welcomed. And I'm a total stranger to this woman. And I'm like, I just want to say thank you for giving us that
Oh,
space. So
you're welcome.
I don't
That's
think
the
you understand
idea.
what you did for me there. I was like, I felt it was exactly what I needed, you know?
Oh.
So thank you so much for that. Yeah. And I visit several times, but yeah. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming because you were willing to share your energy with us. And we still do the mediumship, by the way. We should do it
That's
on Thursday nights now. So instead of, well, I think we were doing them at that time on Monday nights, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was
Yes.
Mondays. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, and I was looking. I was like, oh my god, she does question the spirits exactly. Like, and we questioned each other to see how
Yeah.
accurate we were. And I was like, I remember how nervous I was, but everyone went through the same process, and everything was accepted. And it was beautiful. That's exactly how we learned to grow with our media.
Exactly.
So
And also by connecting and having our energies mesh,
together.
we find what I like to call our tribe.
Hmm.
You know, we find our peace. We find a place where we could be ourselves without feeling nervous or shy or anything like that. Because everybody does the exact same thing. And, you know, we just walked it through. So,
Some peace. Like there was spirits that people connected with that they haven't in a while, and
Yeah.
they popped up. Oh shoot, you are around me. I needed to hear from you. It was like, wow, yeah,
That's what I always had a dream of that. So I'm very blessed I was able to create that.
yeah.
And like I said, we still do it every Thursday night. And people just either come in person or on Zoom. We have the hybrid now.
People on Zoom with the
Yeah,
cameras.
exactly. Um, so how do you read? Say one of do a
How?
quick reading. Let's
Okay,
do a
I'm
quick
what?
reading.
With who? Is there a person?
I don't know who wants a reading in
Who
the
wants
chat.
a meeting? Our reading, right?
there's
And it's
there's
Lenormand.
there are a lot of people watching, so
Is there?
somebody should just place in the chat. I don't know who's still here because it's getting kind of quiet. Oh, Julianne Guthrie Smolson
Where do you see that?
in the chat. You should be able to see it in your thing.
Oh, yeah, it says hello me. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks, Julie. Oh, and there's the other one. Simply Luciani. We'll
Okay.
start with Julie and see where that goes.
All right. So, what is your question with the Lenormand? Let's see, and I'll explain them too.
Come on, Julie. A question. Give us a question.
Put the put the questions in the chat room.
Yes.
Thank you.
She's like, oh, no. She's like, I don't know what that. Timeline of a good thing.
What does that mean?
Coming soon. I guess she's got something that's coming that's, oh, moving. Is
Are
she
you
moving?
moving anytime soon?
Yeah.
So I like to, when someone asks us a question on that, so specifically, what is moving soon? Is it 6 months? I would think that's 6 months. So let's do if you are going to be moving in the next 6 months. Okay, let's see. Happiness, fish, and garden. So this is cool. So we have the garden. I should lower this, but then I don't want to move. I don't want to mess up the whole it will all just like flip down. So I don't want.
We're just having way too much fun here.
Okay, let me see.
Right there.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna have to lower it,
I'm gonna
unfortunately.
attempt.
To lower the light.
Pray for me.
I'm praying.
Okay. So
Oh, there he goes.
okay, so we have the flowers, which is about happiness, is an invitation. We have the fish, which is about money, all right, and the garden, social activities, socializing. So when we put them together, I feel like you're going to get an invitation with the flowers is also about invitation. That's going to be something affordable for you, all right, because this is really, it says it's about a financial situation rather than you not having a place, and social events in the garden. So it does say that you are going to have an invitation to move somewhere that is good for you. I'm picking up with all these floral cards and stuff. It's probably going to even be less than 6 months. Who knows if it is even before the summer ends, is what I'm really kind of picking up with this, right? And it's because it's affordable for you. Or definitely with these cards, it talks about especially with the garden. The garden is a card of socialization, asking for help, putting it out there. So I feel like the word of mouth is really going to really take you far with moving. So ask somebody,
Mm-hmm.
right? Sometimes we think things are not in our means, but then when we just ask someone, we're like, oh, they have this available, they have this available. So it's really saying here, I even feel like someone is even going to say, "Hey, I have a spot or something." But you are going to move within the next 6 months. But I feel like it's more leaning to before the summer is over. All right. You're welcome.
You're welcome, Julie. Now, Simply Luciani. Let's see. What do I need to know? And she said that she put work. So,
What she needs to know with work.
yes.
You're welcome. What does she need to know with work?
Mm.
And then what's going to come out? And with Lenormand, unlike tarot, you don't read the cards in reverse. So whatever is the card, it is what it is, right?
Right.
All right. So you have the man. Okay, so this is the man.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the letter, which is something written and information, right? Or a message. And then you have the moon, which is recognition. So it makes me feel like it feels like in writing you're going to get appraisal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting. I feel like you are going to get um recognition for it's going to be on paper though, right? They're going to write you a good letter or recommendation. You're going to have an outstanding achievement, and it could be coming from a male in your workplace as well. It feels like there's going to be more support is what I'm seeing than what you realize here. But it also says in you don't really believe it until it's in black and white, which I see that's something that you're going to get. So if your review is coming up, don't worry, it's going to be okay and even better than expected. Yeah.
There you go.
Right? Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
I'm
Don't give
getting
up. Mm-hmm.
that sounds about right. And also, your screen was blip, blip, blip. The spirits are agreeing.
They say yes. Yes.
Yes, they say yes. So, you saw, guys, how easy it is. So, this is the time, Emily. Now, you're looking for funding, right? To help you.
Yes. For simplicity. Oh, well, now you can see it.
Hmm.
Now that's not so. Oh my God, that's so much better with the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
So this is the box, guys, and we put a lot of work into designing it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Everything is gold foil, and these are the cards. And it's on Kickstarter right now. It's live. And Kickstarter is an all or nothing crowdfunding platform. So if we reach the goal, then this is the deck that gets printed, and each person who pledges a certain amount gets the deck and a whole bunch of other perks that's exclusive, like it's signed, um, and other perks that we have. We have a fortune telling coin, which is
Mhm.
great. I created like a fortune telling coin, yes or no one. We also have a tarot, a cloth. We also have a bag. And since I like to do everything high end, it's velvet with gold foil, of course, and other cool little perks that you can get that nobody else will have. So it's on Kickstarter right now. The easy way to get it is by simplicitylenormand.com, but I don't know if we could put the links there. But yes, the links are there. Can I put the link?
Yeah, well, I could. Yeah, hold on. Let me. Simplicitytarot.com.
No, Lenormand. Nope, that's the wrong one.
Okay. Well, they could still find you, right, at Tarot by Emily, and then
Yes, you can find me there.
yeah, and they could find the link there.
Yeah. You can
Yes.
find me there. You can find the Kickstarter there. You can support it. I will really appreciate it because this is all or nothing. If not, we don't reach goal, then oh, there we go again. Okay.
We're going to have to say thank you for confirming this.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. Right now,
Mhm.
I'm just trying to get this other baby and birth this other baby of mine, which is this new divination deck.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So, if nobody else wants to get
Thank
the
you.
another reading, so why don't you do one for me? Let's see what they got to say. I'm going to leave it up to whatever they feel they need to tell me.
Okay.
You
Let's
know,
let's see what they have to say.
we're
Yeah,
glitches. It's a spirit world.
I'm
It's
used to it. It's blessings.
yes. Julie wants to ask another question. This, we're, so let's see what the spirit world wants me to know.
I'm
Go
gonna
on
go with it.
vacation. Go on vacation. No.
No, I think so. I feel like it's coming in for your husband because so there's another in this deck. You
Right.
saw before we have two men. I made sure I had two men and two women. I had one dark skin tone and one light skin tone because I like being inclusive. Like that's just
Right.
who I am, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, so this is the man, and it's next to the sun card, which is good news, good information, good health in general, and
Hmm.
happiness. There you go, the flower cards again. The flower cards, of course, is something that's being offered. That's why I think it's the man, it's your husband. I feel like it talks about something big and a book. So I don't know if you're trying to write a book. Okay. If you're trying to write a book, it says definitely that this is going to happen and a book is coming for you. Um, I was going to say even something like a powerhouse or major publishing, something written is really, really going to come through for you. I also feel like it's saying here there's going to be some good news about your husband's health or something like that. Something like
Good.
that coming forward for you.
Good.
Um,
I'll take it.
and yeah, but I feel like the second information it says here there's an invitation to write a book that's coming for you. And of course, you should take this, okay? It's something big. I feel like you should just ride with it because it talks about something big like a ball. So you're thinking about a major publisher, not something
Okay.
staged.
All right.
Go for that. That's
Ooh,
what
I
I'm
go. No problem. I go for any opportunity
yeah.
that feels right because you never know. Right.
I feel like they're like, you know, I don't know. I would think Hay House or something, like just go for something big. It's probably in for you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Sorry about those spams. I
It
took that
said,
one out.
oops, reload, something went wrong. I don't know what's going on. Here we go.
Uh,
I don't touch it. I don't want to touch nothing right now. No.
I there was one spam that I took out of uh, of the chat room. Yeah, they were sending us to a nice
What?
naked website. Like, come on, wrong show. Uh,
All right. The one someone asked about romance
yes,
department. What about
simply Luciani.
what about Oh wait, she did. I would love to know if there's a romantic man in my near future.
Mhm.
Okay, a romantic man in
Ooh.
your near future.
Thank you, Emily. By the way,
Hmm. Oh, birds, which is talking and communication. You got the woman card. There's a romantic man, but not a good romantic man. All right. So the birds talk about talking. So who are these birds talking to? A woman. I'm obviously there's going to be conversations with a man talking to you. The mice in this card literally talks about anxiety, things deteriorating. You think of rodents, right? Vermin, things like being nervous energy, things deteriorating fast. And I feel like there will be lack of messages and communication. And then the snake, communication is deceitful. So let's put that all together of everything that I just said. It says, yes, there will be a romantic party in your near future, but he's probably not the best for you. I feel that there's going to be communication that he's going to be the one looking for you, first of all right? He's going to be like, hey, talking into your ear, because it shows the birds. The birds were talking to the woman. So you're minding your damn business, and here he goes, hey, he's talking to you, right? So that's how I'm seeing it.
Right.
But it also says that things start to deteriorate fast, especially with communication. You're like, it's not right. Something is wrong. Something's off. And it's because he's lying to you. He will be lying to you. And the snake literally talks about another woman or deceitful information. So there's probably a third party involved. And when I have this device is there is going to be someone here, but it doesn't mean that's the right one. Put those standards up high. And I feel like, yeah, it's what I'm feeling on top of this is saying here, take it slow, all right, and trust your intuition because you seem to be highly intuitive. Yeah.
That
See
was
how the specifics goes, like bat 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 bat. Okay, that's why I love the Lenormand because everything is just like we're gonna just tell you all in 1 second. Um,
Mhm.
we say here with the Lenormand cards, these type of fortune telling cards, they're the ones that rat on everybody. We say that they'll just tell all people's secrets, all your information. They'll just rat on everyone. They're very chattery and gossipers. We call them the gossip cards. So you're gonna find it all out. You ask one question, they're gonna give you more. The same way they did about her. What does she need to know? Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
They give you
Yeah.
a sentence.
Mhm.
So it's always I like that. That's what I'm
Mhm.
nosy anyway. So these are the perfect cards.
Yes, they are. I think Julia asked the question. If
When
you're
will
up
I have
for one more, my question is: when will I have a contract for publishing rights for my book?
Do
And
you even know what
e-
does that mean?
do you either know any literature? Oh, there. She's asking us if we know of any agents for the book. I don't know any publishing agents per se.
So I'm gonna rephrase that. I think because it's not when I feel like it's more information about this to get there, right?
Right.
I feel like that's the how we formulate questions is really important, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you're like, when are we gonna get married? It's like, hey, are you going to get married to this person? It's
Right.
like that. All right, so let's see what they want you to know about publishing your book, or best course of action or things like that, right? So publishing rights.
That's a good revision
You
on that
don't get
question.
you don't get publishing rights, you give them shits away.
Yeah. Exactly.
I have two major published decks and I gave my rights away. So you gotta give your rights away to
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. All right, so let's see what is this. So I think hers is like more. So we got the crossroad talks about choices. Man, house, home. So specifically, right? It's funny because house. Guess where I'm gonna go for. I would say like try to do things with hay house and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't I say house, right?
Right. Right.
Something is or I would say home or literally house. And we already know that the bear in the Lenormand is something a boss or a big powerful thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you're thinking about big major publishers, something that's in a house or well established for a long time, or you would even say I would think of house and home, you would think of U.S. games, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
are, well, they're not publishing. They don't publish books, but I'm giving you an example, which is a family-oriented business, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I would go with book publishers who are family-oriented or established like that. Um, and then you have the man and the crossroads. So, I mean, yeah, so I will also feel like there's going to be two choices at the end, and you're going to narrow it down to two choices and make the one that's the biggest for you. But that's obvious, right? So it looks like this is going to take some time. There's a lot of digging still. What I'm getting. None of these cards are these instant cards. They look like they're going to take at least 4 months, 5 months, or it could be even longer. So that's what I'm getting with these cards here. Yeah, especially with the crossroads, it's like I'm still kind of trying to figure this out. And that's the last card. So there's no choice that's going to happen right now in the near future. Send them out. There's going to be two that responds that wants it. And then from there, you're going to make a choice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wait for cards to jump out, or what does that mean? Like
Uh, I
literally?
guess when you're shuffling, if they jump out, or do
Um,
you just put them down?
we just stop when we know when to stop, right? We just
Right.
when we stop. If a car was to jump jump out, then we
I
would.
usually put it down and read whatever else comes, and then go to that one and see what specifically they wanted us to know. So, which I'm sure is the same way you do it. But um, so as you guys can see, these cards are wonderful. So I really want you to find Emily.
Pigeon house. Okay, there you go. Pigeon
Yeah,
house. There,
yeah,
that's what I would do. There you go. House.
yeah. Perfect, right? And then it's uh yeah, she's right now with negotiating deals to publishers. Good, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Go
good.
work close to home, or literally something with a house in it, or family oriented, something like that. That's going big. So something big and powerful, something that means power or
Yeah.
powerhouse, powerhouse. That's what I would think, something big like that. Yeah.
So, guys, find Emily.
Yes.
The two um, sites are in the description. If not, right here, I have it on the screen. Don't hesitate, because you saw how good and how quick she's reading these. And to give you guys a secret, I am very hard to read, and it's this is how I know when somebody what the tools that they're using are really good, and they're really good. Just so you guys understand, not
Oh.
too many people can get through to this thick head. I'm a Gemini, so you may be, people like get one thing here and one thing here, and I'm like, no. So, now we're coming near the end of the show already. So, is there anything else you want to tell our audience?
Anything that I want to say or love?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Do I want to say anything? She said, "Happy birthday, Gemini."
Gemini.
Thank you. I want those cards, and back the deck, pledge the deck. The link will be right there. Lenormand.com.
There you go.
I appreciate your support, like really, because we really try to get it funded. And I want them to be in everyone's hands so they can use these and see how
Hmm.
amazing they are. Um, but no, I don't think I want to say anything. I want to say thank you. I love you all. Thank you so much. This was fun. I
Yes.
haven't done live readings for a long time. I do
Hmm.
videos. I do
Right.
videos all the time. So follow me. I was gonna say Facebook, but Instagram and TikTok.
TikTok.
Emilie Munoz. You should be able to find me. Um, find me there, Emilie Munoz, on TikTok, on Facebook, well, Instagram. I do a lot of videos on teaching Lenormand, teaching tarot. So you can find me as well as there if you want to learn about this. I'm your person. One of my big websites is learntarotreading.com, which I should put out there more. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you should.
website.
You would think you would have given
Oh
me
yeah.
that link, right?
I should. I should. Yes,
Uh,
it was fun. It was great connecting with everybody. I love coming on lives and doing readings. It's such a fun experience. Thanks for having me, Glenda.
Thank you, Emily. This is great. It was nice seeing you again. Hold on for a second, okay? Don't go anywhere. Thank you to our audience, and please welcome. Uh, Come back next week, and every single time, guys, share it so other people can experience the same thing you experience, and maybe they will be able to catch a show here and there live and learn about a lot of other people that you may not know. All right. As always, many blessings. And we
Many
love you guys. Bye.